Alright guys, welcome to another video. So as you guys read the title, in this video I'll be telling you guys the difference between weights and calisthenics and which one is typically better for muscle versus strength. Okay, so first let's define the two. What's the difference between weights and calisthenics? Calisthenics refers to moving your body through space, while just using weights refers to just moving weights through space. So examples of calisthenics exercises could be pull-ups, push-ups, dips, squats, front levers, handstands. Weight exercises, different types of weight exercises include bench press, military press, lat pull down, bicep curls, bicep extension. So calisthenics movements are any type of movement that requires you to move your body through space, whilst weights refers to any movements where you're moving weights through space. Now both calisthenics and weights have their pros and cons, and that's the main what's gonna be the main focus of this video. So let's start off with calisthenics. What are some pros of calisthenics? First of all, it can be done anywhere at any time. Calisthenics, in order to perform push-ups, pull-ups, dips, you don't really need a gym. It can be done pretty much from the comfort of your home or outside. Say for example for push-ups, you can literally do it on the ground, like literally almost anywhere. And then for pull-ups as well, literally just find something to hang on, and yeah, easy. It's really easy do a pull-up. Another pro of calisthenics is that it focuses on mainly compound movements. If you look at most calisthenics exercises, the basics such as pull-ups, dips, push-ups, squats, what are they? They're mostly compound movements. So they work the majority of your muscles. So basically for calisthenics, if you're doing a calisthenics workout, you don't really need to you really don't need to have a very complex program. A simple basic calisthenics program will do, because every single exercise that you're gonna do, it's gonna hit every single muscle group of your in your body. So really, there's not really any need to isolate any muscles when you're doing calisthenics. Although you can do isolation movements such as skull crushers. Another pro of calisthenics is that it is really cheap. Like, you need really limited equipment for calisthenics. Literally having your own body is enough. So if you have your own body plus a pull-up bar, that is pretty much enough for you to get in a proper calisthenics workout. Like, you don't really need to buy any fancy expensive equipment. You can just do calisthenics from the comfort of your home using stuff around you. Say for example, you can put two chairs in between in order to do dips. You can do push-ups on the carpet, and for pull-ups you can literally find a tree outside at which you can do pull-ups. So yeah, see what I mean? You don't really need that much equipment for calisthenics. Alright, so the last pro for calisthenics, which I'll be talking about, is that the strength that you gain from calisthenics, it's gonna actually translate over to your weight training. So what I mean by this, if you're good at calisthenics, most likely you're gonna be stronger on the weighted exercise on the weighted exercises. Say for example, if you have a very strong weighted dip, say for example you can do like 3 to 5 plates on dips, like 60 kilos to 100 kilos on the dip. It's really easy. It's gonna be really easy for you to get a stronger bench press. But vice versa, it doesn't really work that way. So say for example you have a really strong bench press, doesn't mean you're gonna be technically good on the weighted dip. Let me give you another example. So say for example you have really good strength on the weighted pull up. Say for example you can pull up 2 plates on the weighted pull up, 40 kilos, 2 or 3 plates. So 40 to 60 kilos on the weighted pull up. Say for example, okay, let me say it again. Say for example, you're really strong at the weighted pull up. it's very likely that you're gonna be strong at the lat pull down as well. It's really likely that you're gonna reach doing the full stack on the lat pull down as well. That doesn't really work the other way around. So if you're really good on the lat pull down, doesn't mean you're gonna have a really strong lat doesn't mean you're gonna have a very strong way to pull up. And think about it, every single machine in the gym is just a simulated version of the calisthenics of a calisthenics exercise. A bench press is basically a push up, like basically kind of a weighted push up. The lat pull down is just a simulated pull up. The hack squat is just basically simulated, what do you call it? Just normal squats. So let's move on to the cons of calisthenics. So the first problem with calisthenics is that in order to progress, in order to be really good at calisthenics, you have to be a certain body fat percentage. So if you're like over 20, I think 18 to 20% body fat, it's gonna be really hard for you to what do you call it? It's gonna be really hard for you to excel in calisthenics. That's why you don't really see that many overweight guys doing weighted pull-ups, weighted dips. Yeah, the reason is the extra body mass that you have, the extra body fat that you have, it's gonna really hinder your progress in calisthenics. That's why the more leaner you are, the easier it is for you to do calisthenics. That's pretty much the only the only disadvantage that I can think of for calisthenics. Other than that, I think everyone should start calisthenics, whether you're beginner or you're advanced. Alright guys, let's move on to the pros versus cons for weights now. So one of the pros of weights is that it's much easier to progress in. So literally, to progress in weights, you literally just need to add weights. It's that simple. But for calisthenics, in order to progress, you need to do all these different type of variations, such as, for example, once you've mastered a normal push-up, then you're gonna have to do like a diamond push-up. Then you're gonna have to move on to an incline push-up, and then you're gonna have to learn the planche push-up. And for building, in order to build muscle, it's actually really hard to progress in calisthenics. But for weights, it's literally easy. Just add weight to the exercise which you're doing. I mean, you can add weight to a push-up, but there's just so much, only so much weight that you can add. Another pro of weight is another advantage of weight is of using weights is that it literally weight can be done by literally anybody. Doesn't matter your size or your shape. See how I mentioned previously how, you know, in order to do calisthenics you need to be a certain body fat percentage, otherwise you're not going to be able to do well in it. Well, for weights it's actually it's actually the opposite, because anyone can like get better at doing weights. You know, it doesn't matter if you're like really skinny, if you're overweight, if you're average, if you're an average build, you can still start by doing weights. Yeah, it's just that calisthenics, if you're not a certain body fat percentage, so like if you're not below 15% body fat, then it's just gonna be really hard for you to do calisthenics. Whilst with weights, it's gonna be really easy. So for example, you're like 20%, or you have 20% body fat. It's gonna be really hard for you to do a weighted. It's gonna be really hard for you to do a pull up. But for you to do a lat pull down, it's not gonna be as difficult. So yeah, that's an advantage of weights when compared to calisthenics. Alright, let's move on to the cons now for weightlifting. So the only two cons that I can think about is that it can't be done like anywhere like calisthenics, and it's a bit more expensive than calisthenics. So basically calisthenics, you can literally do it anywhere, as I said previously before. You can do it at the comfort of your home, in the park, in the playground. You can literally do calisthenics on a tree branch. But for weights, you can't do that. Like for weights, you need to buy actual you need actual equipment, and You need dumbbells, barbells, machines, or you might need a gym membership. Yeah, so basically you can't just be doing weight anywhere. And the other thing, as I said, is that you're gonna be really limited. You need a lot of equipment to do weights. So and that might be expensive for some individuals. Like for calisthenics, you really don't need much. You know, the only thing you need probably like your own body and just a pull-up bar. Yeah, that's all you need for calisthenics. But for weights, you're gonna have to invest in a lot of stuff. You're gonna have to invest in dumbbells, barbells, plates, even maybe machines if you want to create a home gym, or you need a gym membership, and that's gonna be pretty expensive. So compared to if you're just gonna do calisthenics. So yeah, those are pretty much the only two cons that I can think about for weightlifting. So to just conclude the video, which one is better, calisthenics or weights? Let me tell you the answer. Answer is none. Um, Calisthenics isn't better than weights, and weights isn't better than calisthenics. It's better to do a mixture of both calisthenics and weights, so you get the best out of both worlds, and you increase both your relative strength and your absolute strength. That's it for the video. Hopefully you guys found it really helpful. Let me know what you guys want for the next video. In that note, see you next time.